Colorado gangs. Those in the know say gangs are not just a metro problem anymore, and this week the state got involved.
What's your name, homie? Where you from?
My name is Gerald. I'm from Denver, Colorado. Born and raised in Denver, Colorado. I was born in Denver General. That's what they call Denver Health now. I was born 46 years ago. Lord willing, Sunday be 47.
Said you was one of the dudes who started Tre Tre out here, yeah?
I ain't gonna say I'm one of the ones that started it, but I am a first generation Tre Tre. Yeah, I ain't starting nothing.
Okay.
But I've been there.
You was around?
Absolutely.
You was hanging out whenever they did?
All the time. I got quoted to the Tre Tre Gangster in 1989. Yep. So about the summer of 89.
Last summer, Delonte Carolina, a Northeast Denver high school student, was killed in a drive-by shooting. He was one of 3 boys killed recently during the war between the Crips and the Bloods.
Hands on top! Hands on top of the car!
While the cocaine derivative crack is central to many gang members' economic survival, it's the colors they wear that gang members are willing to fight and die for.
Right here in this park.
Yeah.
Right here in this park. This is Fuller Park.
Crippin really just started out here at that time, huh?
I think maybe like a few years earlier than that, because like right around the corner over here is the Red Shield. And that's where I played basketball as a kid. That's all I did growing up was play basketball, man. That's where I guess I would first probably say I heard like somebody saying cuz over and over. You know what I'm saying?
They call themselves cuz, which is black slang for cousin.
Just what I would hear from certain cats that were over at the Red Shield. So, yep, I think I'm not even sure exactly the year, but I think I would probably say like 85, 86 or something, maybe like that.
It's this destructive value system concentrated in Northeast Denver that has forced the Denver Police Department to assign these 40 officers to specialize in gang violence. So far, they've identified close to 1,000 gang members.
From my understanding, to be honest, it's another set of Crips down here on the east side, been here for a long time too, and them is the homies, them is the dog cities, you know what I'm saying? They've been around just as long, so I'd say about the early 80s.
Okay.
Mid 80s or so. Nah, back then wasn't no challenges. Only thing I'm gonna say honestly, if you was down here, you was claiming Tre Tre. You was getting put on Tre Tre. Shit, that's how it was back then. 30s is the first gang. 30s is the first gang.
Okay.
The original Tre Tres that started Tre Tre were 30s, because that's all it was.
Gang activity is not limited to the metro area. We've learned through the federal parolee that these gangs are operating through the Colorado Springs and the Denver area.
Even with the 30s, you know, them is the homies, the big homies, and we always used to tell them, y'all ain't doing nothing, nigga. Everybody, nigga, when they roll up, they like, you better watch out for them Tre Tres. They wasn't saying watch out for the 30.
Yeah.
Them is the homies. I ain't throwing no punches.
Yeah. Keep it 100. The Tre Tres were pushing up on the Tre Deuces like, nah, homie, it's Tre Tre or nothing.
The Tre Deuces is the homies.
This is like 2000. I'm talking like 99, 2000, 98.
I mean, man, with the neighborhoods and shit, how shit is, it's always some bullshit friction. And it's either this cat may be tripping with this cat, and instead of them going ahead and hash it out, it'd be, well, fuck your shit, and you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature. But I don't be wanting the homies from the Deuce to like, and they know I'm not disrespectful, I ain't disrespecting them, but they didn't start off as Crips. The homies from Tre Deuce, it was a Tre Deuce posse, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the Crippin came later, but they Crippin. You know what I'm saying? Them is the homies. And I hate that it be different friction between any of us down here. You know what I'm saying? Because we all grew up down here and we all been hanging and rolling with each other for 30-something years. It just be dumbass beefs between individuals. You know what I'm saying? Funny thing, before I get there, you know how they do. You get sentenced, you go back to building 8. So I'm like, damn, I'm in there with my homeboy F-Bone, my homie Obi. Psych in there, rest in peace, he in there at the time. Baby Psych, that's my celly. So I'm like, damn, I'm telling them, you know what I'm saying, I'm finna go to the penitentiary and shit. My nigga F-Bone, he just laughing and shit, cause you know, F done been to the pen, so he like, oh yeah, so you want, so whatever. Man, I'm sitting there, I done just ordered fresh commissary, and I'm, like I said, I'm fresh off the streets. I got on a brand new pair of Jordans and shit, so I'm fresh. Order my food and all that little stuff. The next day, man, them people called me talking about, right, wrap it up. I'm like, shit, them homies is like, cuz, you on your way over to DRDC? I'm like, cause I don't know nothing about it, so I'm like, what's that? And they like, that's what they send you before you go to the plate. I had a brand new box of food, all that stuff. So I'm like, damn. So I'm getting all my, like, wrap it up, take your shit. So I'm thinking I'm taking everything. The niggas like, where you going with that, cuz? I'm like, shit, they told me I gotta get my stuff and leave. They like, you ain't taking none of that. Yeah, I am. So I had to get a homie F my Jordans, F feet at least 2-3 sizes smaller than mine, but shit, I can't take them, so he walking around the county with some big old Jordans on just cause they brand new.
Yeah.
So yeah, I leave from there and they took me out to Cell House 5. Ooh, man, Cell House 5 was the worst, man. That was the penitentiary, man. You walk in that thing, it's like 1, 2, 3. 3 floors up, cells all the way across. Boom, other side too. So you can see each other and blah, 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 blah. Man, I was like, and see, fresh going in, before that, like, we had just really got introduced to some stuff like the ecstasy pills. So me and my homie, man, my first one, my partner, my homeboy, Lil Low, he like, cuz, he come with it. I'm like, what is that? He like, cuz, you know I ain't gonna bring nothing to you that's gonna fuck us up. So I'm like, boom, we take it, boom. High as hell. I'm like, damn, I'm sweating. So we doing this like, back then, it was a club cracking every night. So we went out every night. We was popping 2-3 pills a night, wasn't eating. So I got about as thin as, whoo-wee, I was looking terrible. So get up in the Cell House 5, walking through, people got little slick comments, they saying slick shit. I ain't no front, I ain't been to the penitentiary. Nigga nervous like, damn, fuck this shit. And they like fresh meat. I'm like, who these niggas talking to? And then I hear a couple of homies and shit, and I hear cuz a few times, and I'm like, they like, who that walking down there? I'm like, this big Hoo Ride. All I hear is, hey, Real, what's up, OG, cuz, what's up? I'm like, oh, shit, the homies is in here now, so I'm letting my nuts hang. I get to talking shit. Fresh fish where, nigga, what's up? We can do whatever. So that shit was crazy. I stayed at DRDC, and then from there went to Burlington. Burlington was
Guilty
trash.
on all 21 charges. That was the verdict for a suspected gang member in the fatal drive-by shooting of Denver Broncos cornerback Darrent Williams 3 years ago. The jury convicted Willie Clark following an 11-day trial and a day and a half of deliberation. Clark declined to testify, citing threats made by gang members to himself and his family. He faces up to life in prison at his April 30th sentencing hearing. There was no immediate word on a possible appeal. Williams was killed at about 2 a.m. on New Year's Day 2007. Prosecutors say Clark fired the fatal shots from an SUV that pulled up beside the rented limo Williams was riding in. Williams was 24, and in his second season with the Broncos, he was already a starter, and his 4 interceptions that season were second best on the team. He was taken by Denver with the 56th overall pick in the 2005 draft out of Oklahoma State. Jim Militello, The Associated Press.
Now, a lot of the parents be crying, oh, my baby's on his way to the penitentiary, yada, 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 yada. And I have to explain to them, me, personally, I only think we have 3 penitentiaries state. That would be Sterling, Lyman, and Buena Vista. Any of them other places, them ain't penitentiaries to me. Especially when you get to one and you got a key to your room. I got the Skyline before, man, they gave me a key. I said, a key? Okay, cuz.
Yeah.
It can't be too bad here.
Yeah.
Now, Buny was bad. I ain't gonna even front. Buny
That's
was,
where you ended up next?
I had, like, so after when I got out and I had caught a violation, it really wasn't a violation. I had made parole in 2001. Man, 3 days later, I catch a dumbass shooting case down at this club, Pierre's, and then I ended up in Buena Vista. Ooh, Buny was bad.
What year did you get there?
2000, I got to Buny in 2003.
I was there.
I hated Buny.
I was in East Shooting.
And I think I stayed in South Wing. Hey man, it was bad, man. Like, and see, that's why, like, when I be on their YouTube and I be hearing people say stuff like about the Northsiders, and I don't be trying to be disrespectful, homie. I don't know nothing about the Northsiders. We never had problems with them. I only know about them from the Gillian and like the NSMs or whatever that was. But when I was in Buny, the Northsiders didn't stand a chance. The Southsiders stayed on that. Man, I was trying to get out of Buny. You come out, man, them Southside Mexicans be on them Northside Mexicans' ass, and then we right back locked down. And see, I worked in laundry, so I got to come out, fold the little laundry, put them in the cubicle, still use the phone. I was like, I gotta get from over here, bro. This shit here is sad. If you didn't work, you couldn't go to the yard or none of that shit. I'm like, boy, man, fuck the university. Never made it to lineman, never made it to starter, and I'm cool with that.
But you did end up in the feds, you said. Where'd you end up?
I was in Inglewood, FCI. So my sentence was a year and a day. So this is what happened in my federal case. Like I said, I used to coach football for the Disciples. It's part of the Red Shield over here. And we started off in this park. But shit changed. You see, they got the dog park over there now. Once they put the dog park over there, they ran us up out of here. Wasn't none of this little playground area right here. Wasn't none of this here. That one wasn't over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these trees that's back over here, wasn't none of that stuff here. We used to practice football over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But when I caught my case, we were over at the AP Park, which is maybe off of like 36 by Lucero's a little bit. So one day, this was like maybe Friday, we had practice, and one of our younger, what my dude say, long stroke short, I took a big ass fofo about this big from one of our 14-year-old players on the team. Wrapped the thing up, boom, 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 took it, put it in my car. The next day, I get pulled over in Aurora and had that motherfucker in my car. So, shit. I ain't tell no story, shit. I told the people shit. I mean, I took that from one of the kids on the team. I just didn't do the right thing with the pistol and turn it in, shit. And I wasn't. I was gonna keep that motherfucker. Yeah. But that motherfucking phone was funky. I'm like, shit, you know? But the play, like I told them people, man, I was supposed to turn it in over to the Red Shield, and they was gonna turn it in for me, but they were closed on Saturday, so it was still in my car. But see, I mean, shit, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? They thought I was lying or whatever the case was. And my case actually started in Arapahoe. I was going to Arapahoe court, man. I had been to court like 5 or 6 times. I go into court one day, I'm clean. I got on my little Stacy, some slacks and shit, and a button up. There's 2 white dudes standing in front of the courtroom. I'm thinking maybe they're with the lawyer because he hadn't showed up yet. I'm thinking maybe they're with him. He's late. Man, the white dude said, "Are you Gerald Wright?" I'm like, "Yeah." Whips this little badge from up out of his shit. He was like, "I'm Agent Traver with the ATF, blah, blah, blah. You have a U.S. Marshal hold." I'm like, "No, I don't." He said, "Yeah, you do." I said, "Nah, man, I need to call my lawyer. Ain't nobody saying nothing to us." So when my lawyer comes up the stairs and shit, Jonathan Willett, that's the man's name. He got a bad stutter, but he get that shit done. But they just tried to disrespect that man and stuff. They like, "Mr. Wright, you may want to get a federal attorney. These state lawyers don't know you know, blah, 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 blah." And he was like, "Well, who's the prosecuting attorney?" And they said, I think that man's name was like Bob Brown or something. Man, Jonathan pulled his little phone out. Phone, left him a message. He was like, "Gerald, I'll keep your case for the same amount." I'm like, "Shit, all right, well, shit." So boom, they cuffed me up, took me down to the little federal little thing downtown over there. Yep, so, and man, I ain't never knew nothing about no Fed stuff, and they don't give you bonds and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, damn, that's fucked up. So, after I go to court, there's a few of us, we go to court, get on the bus, they say they finna transfer us. And then on the bus, I'm hearing cats say, if you go to the detention center, you cool. And if you go over to, I think it's Jefferson County and shit, there's like Jefferson County's fucked up. So we get out to the little federal building, they calling everybody to get off, man, I don't hear my name, and I'm sad. I'm like, so I'm going over to Jefferson County. I don't know, man, I get out there, they think I'm the Crip of all Crips around this motherfucker. I'm like, man, that ain't me. Shit, well, I'm the only one on lockdown, which I wasn't on the only one, but shit, why they coming out and shit? We ain't. But, so boom, I did go to court. They gave me a bond. You don't pay no money in the feds. You bond out, but I guess if you miss court or whatever the case may be, then you owe whatever the amount of money they put on your bond, I guess. Shit, I was just going to. So I did get out. I didn't end up actually going to start my federal time until like sometime in 07, and I caught the case in 06. So I just remember the judge telling me, yeah, Mr. Wright, blah, blah, blah. When he's telling me to turn myself in, he's telling me to make sure I continue to do my UAs. Shit, it's like, I'm not gonna take no UA shit. You already told me I'm finna go to jail, so I'm steady mo smoking. You know what I'm saying? He didn't sentence me to the guidelines. He gave me a year. He gave me a year. My lawyer said, can he get the day? So I'm wondering, like, the day. So it's a year and a day. Because in the feds, I guess that day is your good time. You don't get good time in the feds. You get like 50-something days a year, which ain't even 2 months. You know what I'm saying? So they gave me a year and a day. I think I did 4 or 5 months up at the Inglewood, and then I went to the halfway house over there on Federal. When I took the pistol from the little fella, I even took him to his crib, you know what I'm saying? And talked to his mom, because I know all them little fellas over there, you know what I'm saying? So it worked out, shit. That federal shit wasn't. And people be like, I'd rather go to the feds than the state. Shit, it's all jail. You're gonna do a whole lot of time in the feds, you know what I'm saying, than you would in the state. And the feds was weird to me, because you locked up with all types of different people from everywhere, and you don't know them, they don't know you. It's like, man, it's a bunch of weirdos in there. That was my first time ever even hearing anything about a paisa. I thought Mexicans was Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? But when I got there, I see this group of Mexicans wasn't fucking with that group of Mexicans, and then dude ran it down to me, and I was like, for real? Damn. I'm like, okay. Shit, but the paisas was with the shit. And everything. The ones who had all the cigarettes and they had everything. Shit, you want something at the store, you gotta go out at the paisa.
And then they'll just set up a system to just funnel shit out of it. You know what I mean? Like it's
Understood.
dope, you know, and they work together, and they'll all eat, and they'll all take care of each other. And yeah, I respect the way they work.
I seen that in there too, because you know, like I seen dude come in, they give him a nice little care package or something, and then when I seen it with the black dude, it's like he hounded a nigga like, so when your money coming? I'm like, wait, we ain't shit. We ain't shit.
When you gonna give me those back?
Yeah, when your money coming? I'm like, damn, man. Yeah, that shit crazy. But, and even like, so that's when even like my federal time is what kind of made me like, look at LA dudes different. You know what I'm saying? Because I never really had a liking for no LA cats, just because of our like run-ins with them back in the early 90s when, you know, different sets was coming out here and all that. So that kind of, you know, I always had a bad taste in my mouth for LA dudes. But when I got to the feds, man, I met a dude named Blue from 111. Blue was solid as I don't know what. I fucked with Blue more than I did my homies that was up there. You know what I'm saying? Blue was solid. And we kept in contact for a little bit when I got out, but then we kind of like fell off from the contact and shit. But Blue was a solid dude. So I kind of start, you know, having a different look, like, man, all them dudes ain't the same. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, it ain't, you know, shit. Cuz just like me. I like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, and the funny thing, so I had moved to Texas maybe about, I'm gonna say maybe about a year ago, 2 years, whatever. And so shit, I don't know nobody out there. All I'm doing is working. And then, you know, I started looking on there, and YouTube, that's all I'd watched while I was out there, really, right? I'm seeing all these different things. And then I'm like, hey, you can subscribe to the channel. So I subscribe to damn near every Crip channel I seen come up, right? That's just me. I'm unsubscribed from a lot of those channels now because they Crippin is tacky. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, I used to listen to Spider. I think some of his music, I still bump some of the music, but I think he's corny as hell on there. I'll be like, it's just a few of them. You know what I'm saying? I had them dudes, man. YouTube crazy, homie. YouTube is like the feds to me. You can be whoever the fuck you think you ain't on there. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm like, damn, homie. Damn, homie. And then the funniest thing, like I used to watch the dude, Crip Mac. I know something's off with the youngster or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But he was funny to me, you know what I'm saying? I used to just laugh at him and stuff and just shit be funny. And then he was saying different little shit that was funny. Like when I first heard him say that Custer shit, I was rolling. I thought it was funny as hell, right? But then it's like, as I kept watching, then they just start bringing up different stuff. He didn't claim this, he didn't claim that. And I'm like, come on, man, you the Custer. So then that's when I started falling out with a lot of the little LA Crip dudes I was subscribed to, like S-Bone. And I like S-Bone actually, because I think S-Bone like probably about the age I am. But we all start falling out, because I'm like, homie, y'all talk all this Crippin started in LA and y'all the hardest of this and that, but y'all out here supporting this Custer shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, which is it? So, I don't know, man. I just be like, these niggas is crazy. That shit's whack.
The internet is certainly something else.
It is. I like to do Milk, though. I'll be like,
Milk?
Hell, Milk is funny as shit. Milk don't like me, though, because, you know, I get in people's comments, and I don't be saying nothing disrespectful. I just tell him what it is and what's going on, like, and he don't be liking it, because he be calling everybody a Gilligan, and I'm like, I've seen you do some Gilligan shit, too, homie. I seen the video where dude was, you know, you was in the lobby and you was trying to beat that elevator button up to get on there for dude beat your ass. I said, now that's some Gilligan shit. So I think from that comment, he don't really fool me. But I told him, man, I like you actually, because he be on them cats' helmet and the shit be funny on everything. Yeah, I like old Milk, the Gilligan Slayer. He's a funny dude.
The Gilligan Slayer, exactly.
Gilligan Slayer. He be slaying their ass too, because it's a bunch of Gilligans. He funny though, I like him. Okay, so my channel on YouTube is say OK Cuz 303. Let me tell y'all something. So I had one dude ask me before, he said something about me putting the O before the K. Man, when I say OK Cuz, let me explain it to you. I say it's something I say all day. If one of the homies is telling me something and it sound a little fishy or off, he get a OK Cuz. But then if the homie's telling me or somebody's telling me something and I feel it and it's cool, then you get a OK Cuz. You know what I'm saying? It's a different, that's all it is. That's all it is. And 303, that's our area code out here. We got 720, but that came way after all of it. So it's, you know. And that's my channel, OK Cuz 303. Gangbanging is trash, man. It's like, see, back then when that stuff first hit and it was like new to us and all that, I always tell people I think that was like a hell of a disease that like hit these certain little communities, man, and a lot of us caught that shit and just shit. Some caught it worse than others, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even think there is no cure for it except experience and growth. You know what I'm saying? That's the only cure for that bullshit, because, you know, they talk about, what was that COVID was a pandemic? I think that gangbanging shit was the worst pandemic I've ever been through. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still going. And it's like, times change, so these cats they're not gangbanging. I don't know what it is you would call it, because, you know, you got so many different crews and different cliques of whatever. Like, there's so many out here. I'll be like, people will ask me and I'll be like, man, I ain't never heard of it. I mean, people say the youth is the future, and it is, you know what I'm saying? But it's a crazy thing because they don't see it, you know what I'm saying? And to a degree, I get it, because I'm not one of the older homies that's hanging in the hood every day. So when I do come across some of the younger homies and talk to them, and let me say this, when I say younger homies, I'm saying like, they're not my homies, but they claim the set. So they're the little dudes of the set. Them ain't my homies. them as little dudes I coached for over 20-something years in sports. You know what I'm saying? So we can never be homies. They pops or parents, I know they mamas and daddies, they the homies. You know what I'm saying? So those are the ones that I'll be trying to get at because they seen us all go through the bullshit. And now they out here tripping on nothing. And it's not like they gangbanging because they tripping with each other, homie. The Crips kill the Crips, man. The Bloods kill the Bloods, homie. I don't give a fuck what nobody say out here in Colorado. It's been like that from day one, man. And you probably got a few Crips that probably have died by the hands of somebody on the opposition, the ops, whatever you want to call it. But most of my homies been killed by the homies. So, and that's even for up there in Park Hill. You know what I'm saying? It don't change. And that's the weird shit. You know what I'm saying? You turn up on the people you claim to say you love and things of that nature. That shit is bullshit. That's bullshit.
We always victimize our community.
That's it. We quick to turn up on each other and shit. That shit is bullshit to me. You know what I'm saying? That shit's crazy as hell. But one thing I'm gonna say, man, to you young people, so I went to a little, cause I stay in these community meetings tripping with these people and shit behind y'all. So the question was, what do our young black men need? And they had a panel with people, the police chief, Diggins from the county, some other people, and everybody said love. We need to love. We need to love. We need to love our young people and stuff of this nature, right? So when the meeting was over, man, I tell the police chief, I said, hey man, crazy thing to me is y'all say a lot of this stuff like as if we don't love our kids because we joined the gang or whatever the case, decisions we made back then. I said, man, we love the shit out of our kids. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We love our babies. But we're growing up in a time where when I grew up, my mama said no, she meant no. It wasn't no extra, nothing else was coming out of my mouth when mama said no. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, baby, you want to eat this? Do you want to eat this tonight? Whatever she took out before she went to work and it was thawed out when she got home, that's what we eat. Nowadays, you know, you say no to your kids, you don't love them. If you ain't smoking and drinking with them or partying with them and their little partners, and some of you older chicks be goosing on the little homies. So, and you know, if you ain't into them type of things with your kids, you don't love them. So they say, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I told him that. I'm like, man, we trying to protect our kids from the things we weren't protected from. You know what I'm saying? And our babies don't get that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just saying our babies as to cats that are in gangs or whatever. I think that's just in general, period. You know what I'm saying? These kids are so soft in the head, the brain, everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't say anything that they don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? You have to agree with them and agree with the bullshit for them to be cool with you or something. I ain't going for none of that. Yeah. But this is where you would catch us every day. Like this park, it looks totally different. Shit, you drive down Welton, you be like, where the hell am I? They done put up all them New York City high rises and shit, and can't nobody afford to live there. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I'm pretty sure, like you don't see no black people over there with no dogs, do you? All right. It wasn't none of them people down here. I mean, it was very few. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not tripping. Live where you gonna live. But they down here with all these dogs and...
Dogs too much or what?
Some of them, especially when they walk around here with them little green bags with nothing in them like they picking up that dog shit and they don't.
They just run?
Yeah, get your dog shit and get up out of here. Don't leave that shit over here. Our kids still play over here now. They don't want to slide in that. Yeah, don't do that. Get your dog shit up and get on. You know, shit. You Crippin, I really fuck with you. I don't care what set you from, homie. Because a couple of my best partners ain't from the east side. Shit. One of my best partners is Hawkman. He from 5'5", he from Gear Gang. That's baby bro. I got another partner, Payday. He from Raymond's. Man, I love them just as much and even more than I love some of the niggas that I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up with them as well. You know what I'm saying? So everybody wanna be what the little homie tell me, little nigga tell me the other day, man, so, man, you keep running around here talking about he got the keys. We didn't grow up like that, homie. Ain't not one person got no keys down here in the hood, homie. And that's where we've fallen short, and our shit is all bad down here because we up under a O, homie. And ain't not one person from down here. I'm gonna say Tre Tre and Tre O. I don't wanna, you know what I'm saying? I don't want the other homies to think, because it's just crazy how shit go down here, homie. Like, I wanted to say this earlier. That rolling and moving shit, miss us with that bullshit, homie. That's some Cali shit, and I just recently heard of that a few years back and understood what it really meant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess in LA, you know, and this is what it is out there, I guess. The neighborhoods don't fuck with the Treys or whatever. We don't have neighborhoods down here. You know what I'm saying? We grew up under Rolling 30 Gangster CRIP, and they're O's. Them is our O's. You understand what I'm saying? Shit, we are Treys. That's why I tell them 3 times 10 plus 3. That's 30 and 33. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't on none of that moving and rolling. The Tre Treys, we are under that rolling. That's all we've ever known being down here. I mean, we rolling. And it's not to say we're not going against the Treys. We are rolling, and we gangster Crips. That's our shit. We don't care about the Cali shit. I remember I had talked to the dude, Kev Mack. He was like, oh, y'all confused. Nigga, we ain't confused on nothing, homie. We've never been on Cali time. Never have and never will. We got cats in Colorado that claim Cali hoods. We don't. We don't. We kick it in all the 30s down here, from 30 on down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is out here. We ain't on none of that.
Because I remember there being problems.
Oh, we've always had, I mean, let me just say, we don't have rivals. None of the Crips are our rivals. We've been going at one certain group of Crips, or they've been coming at us for years, like how the 60s and 8 Treys do. We don't have none of that. We've had incidents with different Crip hoods, and it's been issues, and it may have lasted. Some cats may still feel like fuck us or fuck them from that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's a whole hood thing. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, growing up, I fucked with the Comptons. Man, rest in peace, Lil Ponytail Carlos. We grew up in the Red Shield. Ronnie and Johnny, the twins, we grew up in the Red Shield. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't beef with Crips, you know what I'm saying? But that's not to say other homies don't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have their different little get down, and then it brings the homies in, and you know what I'm saying? And that's where it goes. Like I said with the Raymonds, homie. Rest in peace, Gangsta T. Gangsta T, a big homie. Was a big homie. They hung on the east side back in the late 80s, early 90s, just as much as we did. Them was the homies. We had a situation with, you know what I'm saying? One homie had a situation with their homie. That turned us into tripping for a minute. You know what I'm saying? But nah, shit. I ain't gonna say me and AWOL is the best of partners, but if we see each other, it's cordial, we speak, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's with any of them, you know what I'm saying? So, and that might just be me and Cuz. He still may have issues or something with some of the other homies, you know what I'm saying? But on personal type shit, I don't really have no issues with no other Crippins. The reason I do some of my stuff on Park Hill, I grew up in Park Hill. You know what I'm saying? Any blood from back then when that shit started, my age, a little older, they know that's where I grew up at. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I ran in Park Hill streets. And people get mad because I tell them I'm an East Side hillbilly. Shit. I know all the real blood niggas from Park Hill. You know what I'm saying? That was from over there. Real shit. I just did a story this morning talking about some of my little run-ins with some of them. You know what I'm saying? And the one dude that I do respect from up there, rest in peace, his name was Billy Mack. That was a grown man. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of them dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna speak on too much of nothing if it ain't East Side or some Park Hill shit, because I ain't never hung on the West Side. Only thing I know about the West Side is Gilliam days, the GKIs, the Incas, and like I be telling the homie Seb, I laugh a lot because, I was in Lookout with this little dude named Rudy. Rudy was a little bitty dude with no teeth. He was from GKI. Everything was Gerpel, G. everything. That shit used to have me cracking up. But they was cool, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no disrespect to none of them. And the only part I probably ever said anything disrespectful about like the Northside dudes is because I seen some shit on Gangland some years ago, and one of the dudes from the Northside said, yeah, we went down to the East Side and tore the East Side Crips up. I was like, oh, rewind that? I'm like, man, people be making up so much false shit. We ain't ever had no problems with no dudes from the Northside unless it was in the Gilly. And they damn sure ain't came down here and kicked up no type of dust. Just like C-Mac. He get on there with all the little blue doing his little 5-5 wiggle and shit.
Hey, you know what though? Homie, hey, for whatever what it's worth, that motherfucker went. He said, this is where I want to be from. He went down there and they beat the fuck out of him. Man, they put him on the hood.
It's only 4 or 5 of them from their hood. Shit, that ain't no hood.
I don't know much about that.
That's a group.
The
Shit.
5-5s on a couple of them?
I guess, man. Like I said, I watch them dudes on YouTube. I'll be listening to his big homie Slim, ODM Slim.
That's the homie.
Slim say he from 5'7". I'm like, but like I said, I don't know them dudes, and they younger than me. Like I told them, they Crippin is tacky. I mean, cause the biggest thing with me, that's Buster shit, homie. You can't claim 4 or 5 different hoods. I don't give a fuck. If you turned on them, nigga, you gonna turn on them. So, period. That's how I tell these cats nowadays. If you telling, you done told, you will tell, and you want to tell, cocksuckers. I got a little rap I did maybe about 10 years ago. It's on my channel. It's called Rats.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's the thing nowadays. If you are not telling, if you ain't messing with no little kid or doing no weird shit, you ain't solid in the hood. It's like we out here on the S&Y yard. Shit. Straight up. It's like we out here on the big yard, but shit, we out here in the S&Y yard.
Yeah.
Shit crazy. Brag, it ain't none of that shit. And my younger homies will tell you anything I say is true. I don't tell false stories. But for years and years and years, I was one of the only homies that write homies, send homies money on a regular basis. And I'm not saying I'm the only one. There are other few that sprinkle it out and send it, but I was doing this shit on a regular basis. When you sending money to homies and they in there buying their boyfriends care packages and shit, the money stops for everybody, nigga. Straight up.
That's a hot take right there.
I ain't taking care of you and your boyfriend. Shit. And that's what's going on nowadays. A lot of the homies, I mean, I don't love y'all no less. If y'all want to goose a man, homie. Just don't tell on nobody. And we always gonna be solid. You ain't gonna goose me. Oh, what's up, Mikey? Oh, man, I thought that was so funny. It's like, come on, man. And he's on what they call it, back page or friends only, fans, whatever the fuck they. Come on, man. You niggas is on here messing with. Oh, hey. Crazy thing is, them same men that be dogging them men's booties out come out here and get the goosing on these girls. That's why I'm like so scared to mess with these chicks. If you actually are an East Side lady, part any of these areas where these niggas come from, I don't want to mess with you. Cause I know, man, it's a gang of niggas getting out of jail, been goosing dudes, and they sliding up in you. I don't want no parts of that stuff. I'm scared. That shit's bad. And then there's niggas out here that's goosing men out here. So, I mean, we got that little, what they call it, LGBTQ thing over there, tracks.
The club.
Hey, man. I know it's some homies sliding over there. So,
yeah.
To mess with them men, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Times have changed, man. Times have changed, man. It's like, Godzilla.
You think it's because the community effect, like you couldn't have done that before, right? Because you would have to be out here. The homies would be calling you, hey, what you doing?
You damn right.
And you're going to be accountable to, not like, oh, you need to check your roster or whatever, but you need to show up.
every day.
Yeah.
Shit, that's how it was when we grew up. If we didn't see each other on an everyday basis and you pop up 2 days later, we need to see where you been. What's up?
Yeah, what's the deal?
What's up? Because, you know, we hung around each other every day.
Yeah.
We hung out here every day. Every day. Monday through Sunday. Shit, we hung out in this park. The Tre Tres, the Tre O's, the Deuces, the Foes. We all hung in this park every day.
So I see now.
And Swamp Stories with your lying ass. The sets I just named, them is triple Tre's, homie. We used to hold each other accountable for any bullshit. Nowadays, it's so, this shit done changed. It's watered down. And I do understand that, you know, a lot of us have grown. We're older, we have kids. Some of us have grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I got grandkids and kids. I'm not out here gang banging. I am from Tre Tre Gangster. I'm not gang banging out here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I started doing that at 13. Lord willing, I'll be 47 Sunday. Man, that's over 30-something years, homie. I'll never say fuck the homies or the hood. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I've been doing that more than half of my life. You know what I'm saying? So this is basically all I know. You know what I mean? Shit, you drive down Welton, you be like, where the hell am I? They done put up all them New York City high rises and shit, and can't nobody afford to live there. You know what I'm saying? So, and like, I'm pretty sure, like you don't see no black people over there with no dogs, do you? All right. It wasn't none of them people down here. I mean, it was very few. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not tripping. Live where you gonna live. But they down here with all these dogs and...
Dogs too much or what?
Some of them, especially when they walk around here with them little green bags with nothing in them, like they picking up that dog shit and they don't.